Let's go ahead and get started with your introduction to FFT's Care4 system. Now remember from what you learned in the last section that Care4 is going to be really the center of your workflow. It's going to be a place where you put appointments. It's going to be a place where you get information. It's going to be a place where you track your outcomes. It's going to be kind of the central place that you work from. And it's intended to be a tool to help you do FFT better, fit it to the family better. But let's get started and take a tour. So in this video, we've got some particular goals. First of all, let's start at the very beginning. Let me show you how to log in, do the basic kinds of maintenance things, change your password, set your preferences, and then make it really easy to find the site again by bookmarking the Care4 page on your browser and identifying your preferred page in Care4. Second, let's actually go into the system and update your profile. That's important because you'll get a lot of choices about how you'd like to see things. Third, let's take a bit of a tour, and then when we're done in the time of practice that follows this, take some time to find your way around. Finally, let's have a look at your to-do list because it shows what's open, and just like a piece of paper on your information, of information that's on your desk, it's a place to show you what needs to be done, and things will appear and disappear as they get finished. Let me show you how they can help you. And then lastly, let's talk about getting help and learning more, where you can go to find some online quick guide videos, where you can reach out to us and get some immediate help with learning how things work. First of all, you already have a login and a password, so you can go to the site now. You can go ahead and log in and have a look around. And then you can use that same login and password to go in and to follow some of the suggestions I have for you in the video. Try to use Chrome as your browser. Chrome seems to work much better universally across different kinds of computers with different kind of web access. Here's how you get there. A couple places. You can go to our website, Functional Family Therapy. The bottom right-hand corner, you're going to see a link to Care4 software. You'll see two links. You'll see one to Care4 and one to Care4 Beta. Both work. Use the beta site if you're one of our beta testers. Bookmark this site on your local computer. Put it in your favorites so that you're able to go to it. That way you won't have to remember the login, you won't have to remember the web address, and you'll be able to directly go to the site. Then go ahead to the login page that I'll show you in just a second. Make sure that in the dropdown you choose Functional Family Therapy. And then of course you're going to have to pass the robot test. Care4 is organized in a particular way, and this is what you'll see as you go through. Care4 is organized around a series of tabs across the main page. You will always be able to access those tabs. Notice on the left is a schedule tab. We have a directory tab, one about members, documents, which contains information about references that you need and group-based information. If you're a supervisor, you will see the supervisor tab. If you're a researcher or an administrator for your site, you'll see the dashboard tab and the data tab. Reports is a place to go to find out information. So this is our central navigation and organization of Care4, a place to schedule and put in, a place to look at your cases that are active, a place for you, and then a place for documentation. Now, what's really important is remembering there are many ways to do the basic functions in Care4. For example, putting in a case can be done from the member page or the directory page. Putting in a session can be done from the member page, the case page on directory, or the schedule page. So we've built Care4 in a way that you can find the way around the system that fits you best. Okay, that's a general overview. A couple things we need you to do now. We need you to move out of the DACWare system and go to Care4. Go ahead and do this. Follow the directions I did here, log on, bookmark the page for easy access, and you'll find a way to bookmark in Google Chrome. Change your password. Go to the member page and change your password, or go to the member preferences and do it under basic info. Go to the preferences section and play around a little bit with the look at times. Update your member profile. Go to the member page and go to edit in both in personal, what we call clinical, and the other information tab. Give us your updated information. And do this, and we'll keep track of this to make sure you've followed through. Send a message in both ways, through the support button and through the online link. Then take some time to move around and just get curious. Find your way, get comfortable. This is like any other thing. If you get used to it, if you work in it a lot, there's a lot of ways to get to different places, and you'll find your own pathways through in order to work in a way that really fits your workflow.
To log on to Care4, you are going to be typing in beta.care4software.com. By typing this in, you will be taken in to the Care4 webpage. To log on to Care4, you will click the login link in the upper right-hand corner. By clicking on this link, you will be taken in to the login page, where you will use your email and the password will be provided in these two boxes. We will be showing you in this demonstration how you can reset your password to something more convenient for you. Next, we're going to be using this drop down here to choose the appropriate care model. We have a few options here, but we are always going to be choosing functional family therapy as our care model. Lastly, we're going to be clicking the I'm not a robot space. By clicking this I'm not a robot, we are looking to get our green check mark. That means we're ready to click the login button. Now, there might be times that you might need to answer a few questions for this I'm not a robot. You might need to identify the stoplights or stop signs, or maybe other pictures to get that check mark before being able to log in. This is to ensure that your information is secure and to also make sure that we are HIPAA compliant. After doing these, we are able to click the login button and be taken inside the system. When you first log into Care4, you will be taken in to the Schedule tab, which is the first of many tabs across the top of your screen. These tabs across the top are going to be your primary way of navigating around Care4. We will be going through each of these tabs in detail in this presentation. But to start, we will be starting with your Schedule tab. The Schedule tab, as you may have guessed, is where you're able to see your whole schedule. You can see appointments that have been made for your clients and appointments that you've created with other clinicians as well. You're able to see your calendar in a few different ways. You can use the day option off to the left here to choose the day view. This will allow you to see today's appointments. As you can tell, we have an appointment today at 4 p.m. today with Michael Scott. We also have the option to go and see this whole month's view of appointments. By clicking on the month view, we can see this whole month and the appointments we have with our clients. Next, we can stick with our week view, which is our default view that we'll have, which will show this week's appointments for our clients. We also have the clinician and patient options here as well. The clinician option will allow you just to see appointments with other clinicians. This is great for supervisor appointments or maybe team meetings. You also have the option here to select patients, which will allow you to see only appointments with your patients that you have. Now, these will always be not clicked off, but if you ever are curious, you can click into them and see these views as well. Now, another way you're able to customize your calendar is by going to your calendar options in the top right. By clicking this drop down, you're able to customize what is on your calendar. You will always have all my appointments checkmarked here. But if you want to see your whole group's worth of appointments, you can do so by clicking and adding your group to this view. Or if you scroll down, you can even view all of your clients' appointments here as well. So if I just want to see Michael Scott's appointments, I can click on him and only his show up. Or maybe I also want to include Michael Jordan's appointments only too. I can include both of them. If I want to include all of them, I can do so. Again, having your all my appointments checkmark is a great way to be able to see all of your clients. Now, you also have the ability to search your calendar too. So if you want to search for a particular client's name, or maybe a name of a particular appointment, you can do so here and search to find the appointment you might be looking for. Now, you also have the ability to download your calendar if you would like as well. This gear icon off to the right of calendar options allows you to download your calendar as a PDF, Excel, or iCalendar. It also gives you the ability to link your Care4 calendar with a Google Calendar or maybe an Outlook calendar. Now, do note that you can only link your Care4 calendar going one direction. That means that you can link it from Care4 to Google or from Care4 to Outlook, but there is no way to go from Google Calendar into Care4. You can't link it into Care4, unfortunately. But if you do want to keep your Outlook or Google Calendar as well, you can do so by linking them here. Now for the actual calendar itself. As you can see, we have 2 appointments scheduled already this week. However, if we need to schedule another appointment, maybe for tomorrow for instance, we can use the scheduler to actually schedule our appointment. If we want to schedule an appointment tomorrow at 10 a.m., we can simply click July 2nd at 10 p.m. or at 10 a.m. and look, we have created an appointment already with tomorrow's date and the time we were looking for. Now the only thing we have to do is choose the who, which is a list of our clients, and also our group members if we want to schedule an appointment with our other clinicians, or if we even scroll down all the way to the bottom, we can actually even schedule appointments with our supervisors and also with our whole group if we would like as well. Another way for us to schedule appointments. We'll go over actually how to create and schedule appointments a little bit later in our cases video. However, do note that you are able to create appointments right here on the Schedule tab. Now, when you're also on your Schedule tab, you might want to know what kind of appointment you have scheduled. So today at 4, I can just put my mouse over this appointment and I can get some valuable information. I'm able to see the session type. I can see that this is an engagement motivation session. And I can even, if I scroll down, look at the bottom there, I can see who is attending this session. By hovering my mouse over it again, I can see that it's Dwight, Phyllis, Michael, and Jim are all going to be attending this session, which helps me know, wonderful, I got it. And then after this appointment is complete, I can simply click into it, and I will close my appointment as well. I'll give an outcome on whether it was completed, canceled, maybe just no one showed up, or maybe we had to reschedule it. For this example, let's just say we had to reschedule it. By hitting save, we've now closed our appointment. And as you might have noticed, our appointment kind of disappeared from our calendar. We are able to still see it there, however, it's not highlighted at all. This indicates that our appointment has been closed. Again, we can always hover over it and get the information, and we can even see that session status under session type. We can see our rescheduled status that we put in there. Now, your Schedule tab also allows you to see your to-do list. Your member to-do list shows you all past due documents and appointments that you have for all of your clients. So as you can see, I forgot to do a FAM 11 days ago from Michael Jordan. I need to go in and actually complete this document. By putting my mouse over this and clicking here, I can actually go in and start completing this FAM or any of these other documents I've created here. Well, now do note that sometimes you might get a case sharing or any other notifications here. Just like your documents, you simply click into it, you read your notification and hit OK, and they disappear. Now, once you click in and complete your documents and appointments too, they'll all leave your to-do list. We'll show you how to expand your to-do list, but the goal as a clinician is to always have nothing in your to-do list. You want all your documents and appointments to be completed. Next, let's navigate to the Directory tab. The Directory tab provides us a list of all of our current clients, and it also provides us a link into their case pages. We can simply click on their names and hover over them to get some information on how they're doing. If we click on their name, we would be taken into their case page, and we'll be able to fill out documentation, schedule appointments, see all of their information, and so much more. By hovering over, though, we can see that Michael Jordan here is suspended. We can see the group that he's in at the bottom. We can also see the group members he's with and the day that his case was started. Now, we are also able to see that some cases can be shared with you. Cases that are shared with you means that another clinician owns this case. I'm able to click into their case page and view all of their information, and I can fill out documentation and add appointments to this case. However, I would not be able to do anything administratively with this case. I would not be able to close this case or do anything with the case itself. Only Julian would be able to do that, the case owner. Now, in the directory, you're also able to see some information in the clinical phase, which indicates where your client is in treatment. For George Washington, I can see that he's missing appointments, which means that he doesn't have any appointments completed yet in his case. I can probably guess that this is going to be an intake document. Yep, he has an intake visit scheduled next, where this will change to intake visit. And when he moves on to engagement motivation, it will change, and so on and so forth. As we can see, Jane Doe is in behavior change, Michael Jordan is just in contact, and Michael Scott has just completed his intake visit as well. We can see in their impact, progress, and alliance, where they also are in their impact, progress, and alliance, we can see how they're doing in treatment as well. As your clients complete documentation and measurements, these lights will change to show you how your client is doing in treatment. Progress and alliance section gives you light indications on how your client is doing. As we're able to see, Michael Scott has some lights. He has a yellow for impact, a progress as well, and a green for alliance. This means that his alliance is doing really well, while his impact and progress are just doing standard. We're also able to see that unfortunately, Michael Jordan, since in the contact phase, hasn't been able to complete any measurements to get any lights yet. Jane Doe is in the behavior change and should have lights. This is an indication to the supervisor that, no measurements have been completed in a while, and that this case needs to be checked out, since there's no lights to indicate how this case is doing. We're also able to see in next appointments when their next scheduled appointment is for the client. And in last session, able to see when the last appointment was scheduled. If a case has no information in it, you can also just remove it from your directory, from hitting the trash can. However, if it isn't an accidental case, I recommend closing the case as well. We'll go over closing a case later when we discuss cases. However, if you want to remove yourself from shared cases, you can click on the clinician's icon or picture, and it will ask you, do you want to be removed from this case? And by simply hitting yes, you can be removed from the case. You're also able to add clients in this section, and we'll be going over that in our next video as well. So here is our members page. Right away, we're able to see my name is right here at the top. I'm able to see the company and title that I'm a part of. If I put in my mobile phone number or office phone, they'll also be right here for me, and also my email address. By scrolling down, I'm able to see a list of all of my clients here, and by scrolling down even further to my documents and sessions, I can see a list of all of my appointments for all of my clients. This Documents and Sessions section is available for each of your clients. And again, we'll be going over this section in more detail in our Cases section here. But do note that we have a copy of all the material that you complete in Care4 in this Documents and Sessions section. Again, you can search this section just like you can other search bars in Care4. By scrolling underneath and going even further, we can go down to the Reports section underneath, where we can get some outcomes on how our cases have been doing so far. We can see an outcome of how our closed cases have been doing. I have a lot of test dummy cases and a few successful. You can also see how your sessions have been doing for your members. How many canceled appointments that you have versus completed or no-shows or maybe rescheduled appointments. And you can even see the types of documents that you're completing here as well. But let's scroll back up to the top, because there is an important bit of information that you can supply for your own member page. Your Edit Profile button here is how you're able to input a lot of your own information into Care4. By going to Edit Profile, you can go to your personal information, which again is how you can put your name, email, other bits of information there. You have your contact information where you can put your phone number, your email, and you also have your preferences here. Your preferences is a great place for you to customize Care4 to fit you. By going into the Preferences tab and scrolling down to the Preferences section, this is where we're able to change our password and do a bunch of other important features. So if we want to change our password, we can change our password here. And by hitting Update and then Save, we can update and save our new password so that we can have something more personal and set for ourselves. I know for myself, if it's not 1 or 2 passwords, I'm not remembering that password. So this allows me to keep my generic passwords here. Do note, though, that you are not able to use any special characters, such as an exclamation point, an @ sign, a $sign, or any of those other special characters in your password. You can use numbers and letters. Unfortunately, special characters do cause issues. If you want to change the count or how many items are on your to-do list, you can do so here. You could go all the way down to 3, or you can go all the way up to 15 if you would like. You can put in a quote, just like the quote we have above, actually, and you might even see your quote appear on the top here from time to time. You can use the tabs across the top here to also see other important preferences as well. You can see the training and learning, which you can see the times and which videos that you've watched here in Care4. This includes the training videos that you're watching now, and also some of our quick guides that you'll find out about later on. You also have your appointment preferences, which how you can customize your calendar even more to fit you. If you want to count only completed items, you can do so. You can number the appointment types if you would like. If you want to change which days you're available for other clinicians to schedule with you, you can do so. And you can even change where your calendar is displayed. So if we just want it to display until 5 p.m., we don't need it to display until 8 p.m., we can change the time there, and we don't need it to start at 6, we can start it at 8. By changing that, we have now changed our calendar and what our calendar looks like on our schedule view. Next, we're going to navigate to our documentation section. Documentation tab is loaded in for us. We can see all the groups that we're a part of here. I'm shared with quite a few groups. You normally won't see that many here. However, you are able to click into these groups, and by clicking on them and launching into them, you can actually put documents into these group sections if you would like. These can be materials such as PDFs or other things that might be specific just to your group. By scrolling down, you can also go down to the training section. This includes a lot of our videos here. We include our training videos that you are currently watching. We also include a Care4 live demo. And we also have quick guides here that show you how to do specific things in the site. So we have a video here on how to add documents and sessions. We have another one on here on how to get help. So if you ever get stuck, you can simply click in, launch these videos, and you can actually start watching them right away right here in Care4. If you keep scrolling down, you'll see we have an update section where we will put updates for Care4, supervisor tools for supervisors, our Care4 help section, which includes, again, all of our help videos that we've created. And if we keep scrolling down, we get to our clinical measurements. These clinical measurements are PDF versions of all of the documents that we have in Care4. This is an easy way for you to come in and download these if you're going to need the paper or PDF versions for you or your client. If I need an SIS engagement motivation, I can simply click on it, I launch it just like I would a video, and look, there's my PDF right here for me to download or to click and print. We have your Spanish versions and other important PDF documentation here for you as well. Be going over the Supervisor, Reports, Personal Dashboard, and Data tabs in this video. However, we will be including parts of them in the upcoming videos. The last section I wanted to include is how you are able to get help in Care4. By looking in the bottom right-hand corner, you can see the offline leave a message section. Sometimes, if you have someone online, the offline leave a message section. The offline leave a message section allows you to send an email to the Care4 team to get help on an issue that you're having, or if it says online leave a message, you can actually chat with somebody directly live in the system.